Taylor Swift and Blake Lively stand at opposite ends of a marble corridor, in a secluded wing of a Hollywood after-party mansion. Crystal chandeliers overhead glow like distant galaxies, yet between them the air hums with tension so dense it crackles. Taylor's hand grips her phone, its locked screen a stubborn reminder of private messages she never intended for public eyes, while Blake's fingers close around a manila envelope stamped confidential, the key to Taylor's innermost world. One whispered threat to spill those texts has ignited a firestorm. Tonight, every glance carries the weight of hidden accusations, and two of the world's most powerful women prepare to rewrite the rules of rumor. 5 days ago, an anonymous tip landed on Page Six's desk. Blake Lively had threatened to leak Taylor Swift's personal messages following a heated dispute over a joint charity initiative. The online headline, Blake Lively allegedly threatened to leak Taylor Swift's private messages after charity dispute, went viral under the hashtag TextGate. Taylor's camp responded tersely, "We take privacy seriously." Blake's representatives dismissed it as unfounded speculation, but behind closed doors both women understood that this was no idle gossip. Careers, partnerships, and entire legacies hung in the balance. Taylor first learned of the leak in the midst of a rehearsal for her upcoming world tour. In a soundproof studio lined with silver-backed mirrors, she ran through the chorus of a brand new song, lyrics born from midnight journal sessions and coffee-fueled heartbreak. When her assistant Jenna slid a phone across the mixing console, the screen glowed with a notification from anonymous gossip. "Just posted your private lyrics." Taylor's breath hitched, her chest tightened. She pressed her palm to the cool glass, shutting out the echo of her own voice. "Taylor," Jenna began, voice low but urgent, "this isn't just a rumor. I've seen the posts. People are dissecting your words like they're public record." Taylor turned, frustration and fear flickering in her eyes. "How? Who would dare?" Jenna exhaled. "Reports say Blake handed them off. It's spreading fast. If we don't act, every late-night lyric in your notebook could be headline news." Taylor's jaw clenched. "I trusted her. We built that charity event together. I poured my heart into those demos." Jenna placed a supportive hand on her shoulder. "I know. But right now, we have to protect every piece of you." Taylor nodded, gathering herself. "All right. Call legal. I need every NDA clause she signed. Then PR. Get me a quote that shuts this down without feeding the fire." Jenna keyed her phone. "On it." "And Taylor, if you need to vent or talk, I'm here. Don't face this alone." Taylor forced a small smile. "Thanks, Jenna. I don't know what I'd do without you." She swept the phone into her back pocket and faced the mirror. "Let's rewrite this story on our terms." The evening, Taylor retreated to her private dressing room. Golden fairy lights framed the vanity mirror. The hush of the studio gave way to her own turbulent thoughts. She removed her in-ear monitors and sank onto the edge of a velvet ottoman. With trembling fingers, she opened a small leather journal and read lines she'd never intended to share. "I trusted you with every broken piece, but fear and doubt made me incomplete." Her fingertip traced each letter, her pulse pounded in her ears. Vulnerability had always been her greatest gift to fans. Tonight it felt like a liability. She tapped her phone's voice memo feature and spoke softly. "Every lyric I share is part of my soul. If I lose control of it, I lose a piece of myself." She stopped the recording, a single tear slipping free. She wiped it away, took a steadying breath, and rose. "No more hesitation," she told her reflection. "This is still my narrative." Meanwhile, across town at a private screening of an indie drama, Blake Lively enacted her own countermeasure. That afternoon she had glided down a velvet-roped staircase in an emerald-green gown of geometric precision. Paparazzi flashes roared as she paused for photos. She offered a gracious smile, then slipped through a concealed side door. In a dimly lit lounge, her confidant Todd waited, manila envelope in hand. "All set?" Blake asked, easing onto a leather stool. Todd exhaled and handed her the envelope. Inside are Taylor's drafts, lyrics, voice memo transcripts, studio notes, even personal journal entries. "I cross-checked them. It's all here." Blake lifted a slim USB drive labeled confidential, her fingers brushing its cool metal surface. She closed her eyes, the weight of history heavy on her heart. "We were supposed to be a team. Now this? But if she won't honor your agreement, you have to make her listen." Blake's voice wavered. "I don't want to destroy her. I want to protect what we built, our friendship, our work." Todd's gaze softened. "Then use this as leverage, not as a weapon. Make her see the cost." Blake nodded, slipping the drive into her gown's inner pocket. "All right." But after tonight, I want a genuine resolution. No more games. Todd rose. You'll get it. Just stay strong. That evening, Taylor and Blake each navigated hidden corridors toward the same central hallway. Their steps mirrored each other, Taylor's heels clicking with assertive determination, Blake's pumps whisper quiet but resolute. The after-party's hum faded, swallowed by velvet drapes and polished marble, until only the hush of anticipation remained. Taylor emerged into a pool of light beneath a grand chandelier and lifted her chin, meeting Blake's gaze from the staircase landing. "You took my words," Taylor said, voice calm but unyielding. "You know my voice better than anyone." Blake's practiced poise held firm, lips curving into a measured smile. "I know their power, that's why I held them back." Taylor's eyes narrowed. "Every lyric I write is an open book, not a weapon." Blake's emerald eyes glinted with guarded resolve. "Then perhaps you forgot. Vulnerability can be dangerous." A charged silence ensued. Taylor reached into her clutch and revealed a second USB drive, unmarked, identical in shape to Blake's, but containing a different payload. Under the chandelier's glow it gleamed like an unspoken promise. "This," Taylor said, extending the drive, "contains the real story, unedited demos, private counsel transcripts, proof of your role in reshaping my charity speech. If you want the truth, it's here." Blake's breath caught. Her hand lifted the manila envelope, trembling. She stared at Taylor's unwavering eyes, then, after a moment that stretched like eternity, folded the envelope and slid it back into her gown. "I accept your terms," Blake whispered. "But understand, this changes everything." Taylor nodded, slipping her drive into her dress pocket, and retraced her steps back into the party's pulsing energy. Blake watched her depart, the corridor's hush echoing in her chest like a deep drumbeat. In the hours that followed, both camps mobilized with precision. Undercover in a discreet downtown studio, Taylor's advisors convened editorial directors, streaming executives, and trusted music journalists. They pressed play on Taylor's raw voice memos, tracks suffused with betrayal, resilience, and reclaimed power. Each refrain underlined her authenticity, shifting the narrative from scandal to artistry. Reporters exchanged knowing nods, their skepticism tempered by the raw honesty unfolding in that room. Simultaneously, Blake's publicist released a focused statement praising her philanthropic vision and announcing that proceeds from her next film would fund journalism scholarships, a gesture reframing her stance as protective rather than punitive. Industry insiders hailed the move as proof that empathy and ethics could coexist amid controversy. By dawn, headlines bore two exquisite narratives. Taylor surprised the world via Instagram Live, hair tousled, eyes bright, announcing a midnight drop of her new single. The soaring chorus, "You threatened to spill my secrets, now listen to my voice," rocketed to the top of global charts within hours. Blake in turn revealed her casting in an acclaimed indie drama about redemption and truth, earning praise for her artistic courage and unexpected show of solidarity. Weeks later, on a crisp evening at a prestigious awards ceremony beneath vaulted crystal ceilings, cameras captured Taylor and Blake walking the red carpet mere feet apart. Taylor's sleek black wrap dress spoke of defiant elegance. Blake's jewel-toned silhouette shimmered with steadfast strength. Flashbulbs popped as they paused for photos, then drifted backstage where tension melted into a rare moment of genuine connection. Inside the green room, mirrored walls lined with couture racks, Taylor offered Blake a bottle of water, their earlier hostilities softened by mutual understanding. "Thank you for resolving this," Taylor said quietly. Blake accepted the water, voice thick with relief. "Thank you for trusting me with the truth." Later, on stage, Taylor accepted an award for her single and spoke passionately of personal boundaries in a relentlessly connected world. Blake watched from the wings, tears glinting under the spotlight. When applause died, Blake joined Taylor to present a special grant, a donation funding arts programs for underprivileged youth, symbolizing their renewed alliance. Reporters hailed the moment as a masterclass in conflict resolution. Social feeds blazed with praise under TextGate reconciled. Fan-made art celebrated their unity, and interviews focused on empathy over scandal. Behind the scenes, insiders whispered that the true turning point had been that corridor standoff. It reshaped Hollywood's unwritten code: never weaponize a friend's vulnerability, and always anticipate hidden passageways in both marble-paneled mansions and matters of the heart. Agents updated etiquette guides with corridor confrontation protocols, advising new clients that honesty and empathy outweigh theatrics. As dawn broke over Los Angeles, Taylor sat at a grand piano in a quiet studio, humming the new chorus. The unmarked flash drive from Blake lay on her desk, a silent token of their pact. She pressed record on her phone's voice memo and added one final lyric to her draft. In the echo of our truths, we find our voices. Miles away, Blake sat at her desk finalizing her scholarship fund's online portal. She reread the mission statement, "Protect the stories that shape us." She smiled, recalling that corridor's hush, and whispered, "A promise we both intend to keep." And so the scandal faded into legend, leaving behind a new chapter in both their legacies, guarded truths transformed into shared respect, whispered threats recast as mutual understanding. In Hollywood's ever-turning wheel of gossip, it was the courage to confront one's own narrative and choose empathy over rumor that emerged as the most enduring story of all.